As you know, 26 days until Christmas. 26 days packed with all kinds of things to do. Decoration of the trees and shopping and planning of parties and shopping for your favorite priest. All of these things to do. It is so busy. I love this time of year, and it's families coming together and fixing the house and the manger scenes and all these beautiful things packed with things to do. But as we sit here today, I submit to each and every one of us sitting here this morning at St. Mel, a 26-day Advent challenge. A 26 days of Advent challenge that hopefully, God willing, on Christmas Day, there will be a bit of a deeper meaning, a more profound experience at the incarnation of Jesus. So, if you are willing to accept this mission, if you're willing to accept this challenge, raise your right hand. No, I'm just kidding. But if you are willing to take this 26, I'm very sincere, this challenge, what is it? I have an idea. Those of you who are at the Thanksgiving Day Mass, I used in my homily about a young artist, 28 years old or so. He's an artist in the Bronx, New York, and he's a brilliant artist. And what he does, maybe you've seen some of his videos, he's on the metro and he has his portrait, and his artist pencil. And sometimes he just draws a beautiful portrait without the person across knowing what he's doing. And after a short ride, he finishes his portrait and he hands it to the person, and they just, wow, it's amazing. You mean I'm not invisible? This is how someone else sees me? But the challenge comes with this. Another part of his artistry is he sits down with maybe somebody well-known or just an ordinary person. And it's really brilliant. He has a humble voice. And he asks the person, the subject, sincere questions about their life. What gives you joy? Why did you choose this profession? What motivates you in the morning? All these beautiful, humble questions. So he, as an artist, can get to know his subject. And when he asks the questions in this beautiful voice, you could see almost on the face of the subject, the walls starting to crumble. And that's, I think, where the artistry comes out. He sees things and he draws this beautiful portrait, and after about 20 minutes or so, half hour, he gives the subject his work and the transformation on their face. So, the challenge for us for the next 26 days, every day for about 10 to 15 maybe not in the car because you got to drive. But I want you to interview the subject is Jesus. You are Devin Rodriguez, and in your soul and in your heart, Jesus is sitting right in front of you. And I want you sincerely, in the quiet of your own room or adoration, wherever it may be, ask Jesus questions. Ask Jesus from the bottom of your heart as you draw the portrait of Jesus, not what others have told you, your portrait. Ask Jesus, what was it like when you cured the blind man? What did you feel when you had 2 loaves and 3 fishes, 2 fishes and 5 loaves, and you fed 5,000 people? What did you feel after that? Were you really scared in the Garden of Gethsemane? When you looked at Peter in the courtyard and you looked eye to eye, the one you gave the keys to the kingdom, and he denied you, what did you feel? How did you react? When you were on the cross and you looked down and you caught the eyes of your mother at the foot of the cross, what'd you tell her? What'd you feel? Was she crying? These are real questions, I think, that are so important. Why? Because you're drawing the portrait of Jesus. Maybe ask him the question, Lord, what are you asking of me? Lord, I've been struggling with this sin or this doubt. Can you help me? Whatever question you have on your mind for 15 minutes a day for the next 26 days. And at the end on Christmas morning with all the family there and all the beautiful times and the meals and all the work, maybe this Christmas, the portrait of Jesus is your drawing, and you will know him better. And whether it is one of these beautiful moments where this incarnation of Jesus, this preparation, what is our studio going to look like? We have a few clues in our reading today. The beautiful second reading, Paul, what does he say? He says, whenever you draw and ask these questions, put on the armor of light. It's beautiful. When you put on the armor of light, what is light in the gospel and the readings? Truth. There's no facade, there's no superficiality, there's no denying or lying to ourselves. But when you draw the image of Jesus for you on these next 26 days, put on the armor of light, your truth. When you go to confession, either this Wednesday or during Advent, the portrait you're going to see, hopefully, is the image of God's mercy, his love for you. Take off all the masks that we wear and all the stress we have about doing all this stuff for Christmas, beautiful as it is. Do you see the face of God's mercy? Do you see the face of God's love? First reading is also very powerful for our studio of drawing the portrait of Jesus. It says, climb the mountain, the highest mountain where you're going to experience God. But he says something will happen on that mountain, something beautiful, no more wars. So maybe as you are taking these 26 days, is there an interior battle that you're facing? Somebody in your life you need to forgive. Someone in your life where you could take that sword and turn it into a plowshare where a new friendship can be cultivated. Maybe some of the marriages are on the rocks, and there's something in between and you feel it. Maybe the portrait that you draw of Jesus is one of reconciliation. And why these 26 days? We heard it in Jesus. Stay awake. You never know. This might be our last Christmas. We just never know. And Jesus says, don't be in your, or Paul says, don't be in that slumber, awake. And Jesus very clearly says, we don't know the hour nor the day. What does that mean for us? Not to live in fear and doubt and, oh my gosh, is the end of, that's not what he's saying. But now is the moment. Now is the time. Not tomorrow, not in 27 days. Right now, this moment. Why is it again so important? Because the portrait of Jesus that you draw is yours, and you will know him better. But you got to make the time. You got to ask the questions. You got to listen for the answer. So I truly believe our readings say to us that God is much closer to you than you think he is. All we have to do is to listen. So at the end of 26 days, you bring your drawing here to church. No, I'm just kidding. But you come to church this Christmas, and maybe, just maybe, the image of Jesus will be deep, personal, and Christmas will have all the more of a deeper meaning. Amen?